Okay, so it's Monday, and I'm always glad to bring you this show. It's Sports Today, and it's only here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV, which also brings you the English Premier League live every Saturday. So we will be getting into the business of football today, and of course, Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the local league have a 100% record so far. Are these any early indications? Is it early days yet to be making any projections? Well, you tell me. 1760 is a text code, and also get on my Facebook page and let's start talking. I'll also be telling you about the Black Stars game against Egypt, and of course there are major developments where a Moroccan referee has been appointed to take charge of that game. Well, does it send any shivers down your spine? Well, no, not to worry at all. That is what the Ghana FA president and the coaching and technical staff have told all of us ahead of this game. Remember, that game is on October 15, just about 2 weeks away from now, and it's game on Ghana versus Egypt. You send in your thoughts. Remember, get on my page on Facebook and post a message there as we get into the details of all the stories we have for you. And of course, Luis Suarez returning to Liverpool with a big bang and making sure that his name is properly recorded in the scorebooks as well. So, was it a good idea to stay? Was it a good idea at all? Well, maybe it will all turn out to be good for Luis Suarez. So you send in the messages as well for all the Liverpool fans. Let's hear what your thoughts are on Luis Suarez's return. Of course, Barcelona's main man, Lionel Messi, will be out for the next 2 weeks after pulling a muscle in his thigh. And this game, after that game played against Almeria, will be showing you excerpts of that game and a wonderful goal he scored. Lionel Messi magic surely is going to be missed for the next 2 weeks. It also means that he will not be available in that game against Celtic in the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday. We'll talk about these and many others that happened over the weekend right here on the show. Remember, Joy Sports brought you that big Manchester United and West Bromwich Albion game right here on this channel. I will be bringing you more on the English Premier League. Okay, so there's every reason to stay tuned as we bring you 1 hour and 30 minutes of non-stop action in sport from all over the world at the weekend. So you reach us on social media. Also reach us on 1760, which will cost you only 30 Ghana pesos. And in a bit, we get to the newspapers. There are quite an amount of them on a Monday like this. And we'll be getting into the details of all the stories that they have for us as well. So you stay right there, relax, and don't touch that remote control. I'll be back to get into the newspapers, and then we roll straight into our stories. This is Sports Today here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. All right, so like I mentioned to you, a Moroccan referee has been appointed to take charge of that game between the Black Stars and the Pharaohs of Egypt. If you want to take a look, well, there it is, referee Bouchaib El Arach. There he is. So this is the Moroccan referee who will be taking charge of the Ghana-Egypt clash. And of course, Andrea Yu and Ebenezer Sifa also opened their scoring accounts at the weekend. And of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the Gabonese international. He's featured on the lifestyle page. And of course, page 3 shows us how Kotoko and Hearts won their matches. So Kotoko and Hearts, they won. Liberty Professionals also managed to pick it up, playing before an almost empty Accra Sports Stadium. So there we are. And then we get into what's on the lifestyle page with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he is football's bling man. That's how he's described here. So there we are. Aubameyang is featured here on the lifestyle page. Spotted a rather eye-catching hairstyle during the last two editions of the Africa Cup of Nations, which is Nation Gabon co-hosted. And so we get into some more. There's analysis of the game ahead of time by Coach Ganini Edujemfi Dawson. There we are. And I'm talking about the Ghana versus Egypt game. That is the big topic. So Ghana versus Egypt. There we are. Okay, so you'd want to take a look at what's happening there. Also, we get into the center spread. And many people are asking questions about Coach David Moyes and whether the job is too big for him. But just remember that, you know, back in the day, Coach Alex Ferguson also did not have a smooth start. So there we are. There are some more stories in the Graphic Sports newspaper. Goalkeeper, George he bounces back and he's looking forward to a national team call-up. Isn't it interesting how, you know, players just make their way around and look forward to getting places in the national team around this time of a year like this, preceding a FIFA World Cup. And, of course, the beach soccer project getting plaudits, and this time around they get the attention of the La Manche. Dr. Nick Bobby III. And interesting and great job being done by the Ghana Beach Soccer Association. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so there are details of the Andrea Yu and Ebenezer Asifua, you know, headlines in the inner pages of the Graphic Sports newspaper. And Kenya's Wilson Kipsang, he has set a marathon record. And this was during the Berlin Marathon. You want to take a look at that. And Julio Cesar Chavez also won his comeback fight at the weekend. And Martina Hingis, former tennis star Martina Hingis, she assaulted her estranged husband on the grounds of infidelity. Well, you take a look at that story. Interesting stories in the Graphic Sports this Monday. And we also get into what's on the 90 Minutes newspaper. And this is how Torres got a red card. So there we are. There are stories on Andre Ayew, who is almost a very consistent face on this newspaper. Here we are. This is how it looked like at the weekend in Europe. Tottenham and Chelsea drawing 1-1. Man United losing to West Bromwich Albion by 2-1. And Marseille winning by 2-0 as well. So Andre Ayew on fire, and he has started scoring already. This surely comes as good news. Radamel Falcao is featured here in the spread of the newspaper. You want to grab it and put it on your wall or something. Well, let's get into some more. It's a striker's war as Torres vows to oust Attoh. So there's competition for the that place. Okay, and also we have some stories in the newspapers. And Suarez is vowing to stay isolated off the pitch. Okay, a lot of headlines on the front page of the Ghana Sports newspaper. And Kwadwo Asamoah faces a 1-month ban. You'd get the details of that story inside. So many players looking forward to call-ups as the head coach of the Black Stars readies to name his squad sometime this week. So you send us the probables. We hear of how goalkeeper George Owu wants to make a return to the Black Stars team. We hear about how, Elche's Richmond Boachi Adam is also looking forward to a call-up. Remember, Richmond Boachi Adam scored against Real Madrid, big achievement for him in the in the Spanish La Liga, I beg your pardon. So get on my Facebook page, just get talking, and let's, you know, talk about this, you know, phenomenon of footballers springing up, and many names and faces springing up ahead of major qualification matches such as these. And Ghana versus Egypt is in focus, and we are going to be paying extra attention to the Black Stars as we begin with former Black Stars management chairman Fred Pappo, who's been speaking to Joy Sports about, you know, a range of issues, especially around the Black Stars and the qualification for Brazil 2014. Remember that he was very key in delivering Ghana's success at qualifying for her very first World Cup, which was in Germany in the year 2006. Let's take a listen to Fred Pappo.
That's why you find just about 23 or 21 or 18 being called to come. But I think they are doing well. All of them are doing very well. They've been playing quite strongly and very well in their teams. So far I've watched 2 games, one game per match day, and I've been very impressed with the standard of play. It was a very unfortunate case. I think there was a news item attributed to an interview alleged to have been granted by one of the players, that he got a certain amount of money, was it 5 cedis or 10 cedis or so, as his transport allowance to move from Pram to Tema. And I found that most unfortunate on 2 or 3 scores or grounds. One was that the player did not grant us that interview.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I was at home when the said player called me. He was very agitated that he has seen this news item, and then he never granted any such interview. 2 was that the figure that was even mentioned, the figure mentioned was even false. It wasn't really as low as the publisher or the reporter would have wished Ghanaians to believe. And then thirdly, the issue of payment of transport allowances and refunds is not done arbitrarily. Nobody just gets up and then looks at your face there because you are Tony Adam, I'm giving you 10 cedis or I'm giving you 4 cedis. It doesn't operate that way. The FA is a formal institution, and we have rules and regulations guiding the FA. So we have an expense chart by which we pay people when they travel from one point to the other. There's a clear chart. I think it was informed by the rates used by the state transport company. So there's a standard there. If you are traveling from, let's say, Brekum to Wa, whether you're a referee or you're a national team player or you're a match commissioner, there's a certain amount of money that you'll be given. And that is what the management team of the CHAN, as well as all the other national teams, apply. So in the third case, I think they were referring to a player who was traveling from Pram to Tema after a CHAN camping incident. And the player was paid what he was due as per the chart of the FA. You get my point? So it was not an arbitrary figure that the player was given. And the money was given to him because I think from Pram, they were going to come straight to Accra, for the rest going outside Accra to come and collect DS. So the team manager actually even exercised his discretion. He knew the rate, and even gave the guy money from his own pocket so that you come and pick it at the FA, because it didn't make much sense for the player to be brought all the way from Pram to Accra to come and collect the money and go back to Tema.
Okay.
When he could actually just get down at Tema. So they paid him, and what they paid him was actually what was in the sheet. That was it. You know, so I did not understand why it became a whole issue where people were making much noise about. And in any case, the player had not granted any such interview. What made me find it most unfortunate is that, you see, if you do things like this, you attribute those kind of, and we as managers are not level-headed. And maybe later the player is not called up for 1 or 2 reasons, which is not related to this case at all. Okay. The player people can easily start saying, "I'm 5 series dog or can't and drop in." You get my point. So I would actually encourage people to be more circumspect in this kind of. And in any case, nothing prevented the reporter from finding out at the FA what the player should have gotten, instead of going to press with that kind of reportage. So that was what happened, and I think it's a very trivial case. I I don't think we really need to waste our time talking much about it. Very excellent relationship. I have a very good relationship with all of them, with Maxwell, with Coach Dauda, with the goalkeepers coach, and even with Kwesi Appiah, who used to be their head coach until recently when we had to release him to concentrate on the bigger tasks with the regular Black Stars. Many young coaches have a very, very good relationship. We talk a lot. We are very open about issues at meetings, informally. They call me, I call them, and we have very regular interactions.
More competence in
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe them. For the work we've given, I believe them, and I'm sure they can deliver, and they are fully committed to it. Well, of course, let me thank the various texters, especially those who expressed concern about the CHAN. I'm quite happy about the concern of Ghanaians about the CHAN team, the welfare and the interests of the CHAN team. We really appreciate that. But let me just give you an issue, because I think quite a few were talking about, maybe they were expressing reservations about fairness or the rest. People should not worry about fairness or merit when it comes to the CHAN. It was unfortunate. I think it was a bit unfortunate. Duncan is my friend, and maybe at a later time when things have calmed down, we'll have a discussion about it. But even if you listen to the tape, I'm sure he was talking from the passion of that moment. You see, so I'll grant him that, because factually some of the things he said in that tape are not exactly fully true. Because Moro played in that same match. Moro is from Accra, Suffolk. He played for almost about 85 minutes. And I hear they even indicated that we used 3 goalkeepers in that match, which was not true. We used 2 goalkeepers. It was only Folia that they was keeping, and I think in the 60th minute or so, before the goal, he handled the ball, and the people virtually booted the ball from his hands, and then it did not even cross the line, but the referee accepted it as a goal. No, it was through that incident that Folia got injured, and then Stephen Adams came in to replace him. Joseph Attoh was not used in that match. He sat on the bench. Incidentally, it was only Joseph and Nuru Sule who did not get the chance to play. But the game was a very fair game. I don't think the coaches had any intentions of not using Sule, because we were restricted as to the number of substitutes to use.
Okay.
So after exhausting I think we could use just about 5 or 6 substitutes. We couldn't use Sule, or for that matter, any other person. And in any case, the defense was doing well on the day.
Okay.
Even though it was a trial game, we could have given the opportunity. But the fact of the matter is that everybody in the CHAN team, or everybody playing in Ghana, has a fair chance of being called into the CHAN team if you merit being called up. Okay. Nobody will be discriminated. Let me just give you some. When we started, we took 19 players to the match in Tunisia. It will interest you to know that these 19 players were from 11 teams.
Okay.
The 19 players were from 11 clubs. We had a player from Chelsea, a player from Lions, a player from Ash Gold, a player from Hearts of Oak, Drops, Adriana, Wow Stars, Kotoko, New Edubiasi, and then even a Division 2 player who is now in Ash Gold, Francis Aji.
Okay.
You know, so if we're talking about fairness, once the player comes to the attention of the coaches, then the player merits a call-up. You'll be given that kind of call-up every week since the league started, and even as far back as mid last year, our coaches were monitoring at least 1 live match per week per coach. And we started that system already. As at now, they've monitored about 4 matches already live, in addition to what you will watch on TV.
Okay.
You get me? So everybody has a fair chance. Nobody should take it that there's a coach coming from somewhere, and for that matter, I'm an Olympics person. If we were trying to be biased, how come there's no player in Olympics who has been there ever since? There's a player from Division 2 there. We've had a player from Division 1 there, one gentleman from secondary 11 wise. So why would I sit down for a coach to come in? No, and the coaches there are men of merit and integrity. Nobody will do that. So Ghanaians should just be rest assured about it. For the preparations are on course. I would want to say that I'll remind Ghanaians that we started preparations for this tournament way back last year. I think we've been preparing. We've had a number of local camping sessions, about 7 or 8 local camping sessions, some lasting for about 5 days, others about 8 weeks or 10 weeks. In the period to date, we've played 3 international matches, 2 against Cote d'Ivoire in Kumasi and then Obuasi, and then another against Libya. I must indicate that the game with Libya was virtually a game with their senior national team that was preparing in Tunisia ahead of their game against Cameroon, which unfortunately they lost. Now, between now and the tournament, what we plan doing is that we might have one local camping section, I think sometime in mid to late October. The players will go on a Monday, then they go back to their clubs on a Friday or Thursday. Then after that, the FA, in conjunction with WAFU, is planning to organize a WAFU tournament sometime, I think from the 21st or 22nd November for about 1 week, eight-nation tournament. So we'll participate in that, and we expect, looking at the program, at least everything will get a chance to play a minimum of 2 matches and a maximum of 3 matches. That is also there. And then in mid-December, or around the 3rd or 4th week of December, the team will go into the final pre-tournament preparation ahead of the game, and that might be somewhere outside Ghana.
There we are, Fred Papo. He is a former management committee chairman of the Black Stars team. Some messages are already coming in, and it's amazing how everybody is very interested, especially in the Suarez case. Of course, this one from Kafui Ozil says that I like the superb return of Luis Suarez and the spirit of Mesut Ozil in Arsenal. Okay, and he says that Nathaniel, tell them to holla Madrid. Okay, all right, thank you very much, Kafui Ozil. Let's now go to Solomon Asante, who's also been talking to Joy Sports about the Black Stars and that very, very crucial encounter against Egypt that is expected, and of course his exploits at the TV Mazembe.
Okay, I know the Egypt side, they are very good, and then you know the Arab people always they want to be on top, and then in terms of Africa football they are on top, so we have to do our best so that we can win this game.
Kwesi Appiah hasn't named his squad for the Egypt game yet, but having been called up the last few times, I'm sure you're expecting him to call you.
Of course, yes. That's my expectation, because you know I've been in the system for a while, you know, for about a year, and then I'm doing my best for the country. So I pray to God, and then I think He will call me.
Okay. So you've been in the Black Stars for a while. I'm sure you've been interacting with the players since the announcement that you were playing Egypt came out. The fact that we are playing Egypt here first and going to play the second leg, with the interactions you pick up with some of the players, are you guys not worried?
Not at all, because you know we are going match after match, and then that's what we are going to do. We know that it's a home match, but we will do our best, and then to get many goals here, so that I can say we will be secure a bit in the second leg. But I know Egypt is a very good side, but by God's grace we are going to pass through.
And I'm sure you're looking up to your first World Cup appearance.
Yeah, that's my wish. You know, coming up footballer. I wish to play in the World Cup, so that you know my CV too will be bright, and then I can get to the top 2.
Okay, let's talk about TP Mazembe. Your game in Mali, that's the Confederations Cup. You guys could not progress to the CAF Champions League, but now you're in the Confederations Cup and you are doing very well. You know, how important is this game to you, and how important is it to you guys winning the Confederations Cup?
Very, very important, because we couldn't win the Champions League, and then that was our target. But we are doing all our best, especially for this game. You know, it's a very important game for us. The Stade Malien, they are also a good side, but we will beat them. I know, by God's grace, we will beat them. Okay, thank you.
So there it is, Solomon Asante, that diminutive player, but he is real fast with the ball, and he surely is going to be an asset for the team if he's surely given the opportunity. He's so far done a good job with all the opportunities Kwesi Appiah has given him. More on players wanting to feature for the Black Stars in that game against Egypt, and we go to Richard Kisi-Boateng as well.
To qualify for this game. As you can see, we have met them before for our preparation towards the Nations Cup, and we beat them 4. So as they are coming here, also they are coming to our backyard, so we'll make sure we are going to silence them. Then we had a chance to qualify.
They say that was a friendly. This one is a competitive game proper. The players have also changed. Don't you think that that is also going to be a challenge for you?
No, if they have changed, we have also changed. It's a big task, but we are not going to give up. We are making sure everything will move on successfully so that we get a victory here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too.
Okay, so we now go to Daniel Nieje. Remember that TP Mazembe surely has a very big presence of Ghanaian players in there, and this was after Brekum Chelsea's exploits in the last 2 editions of the CAF Champions League. So Daniel Nieje, who is a former most valuable player in the Ghana Premier League, has also been talking to Joy Sports.
Yes, I've settled well in Congo because when we went there, they received us as one family, and then they told us to be free. Anything we want, they will give it to us. And then the supporters there love us, as Kotoko love their players. So there is like being here in Kumasi, playing for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The same treatment we have there. The supporters are very caring and loving. So I've settled there well.
You were a big name player for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and you got a few invitations by the national team boss. Since you've been to Congo, the call-ups have not been coming. Are you worried about that?
I'm worried a little, but not much, because I've not get the playing time that I can get. That I will get a call, but I'm still working on it, and then I hope God will make a way, and then I'll get back to the national team. So I'm still working hard. I know it's not easy. You can't get it all well all the time. So I'm not disappointed. I'm not worried, but I'm still working to get the chance to play, and then maybe I'll get the chance to be called back into the national team.
One player that normally when we mention your name here in Ghana, his name come up is Jordan Opoku. Recently, he's made a return to Kotoko. Let's just take it as if, God willing, we never know what will happen tomorrow. Would you consider coming back to Ghana to play Kotoko?
I would say yes, because Ghana is my home, and then if you are here, you get no problem. You love what you are doing here, and then the people also love you. So when you are playing back home in Ghana, I think it's good. But we are still hoping for the best. So if all things goes well, I'll be there. If all things doesn't go well, then maybe I have to turn back and then come and then pick up some few things here, and then maybe try to go outside again. So I'm still hoping, and I know God's time is the best. So I'm not worried. So I'm still hoping for the best.
All right, so there we are, and there are more stories to bring you on these players, and Daniel Nieje says that he really looks forward to making an even bigger impact. Yao Frimpong has also been talking to Joy Sports. Let's take a listen.
For playing for TP Mazembe, and they have a good players, and they are all national players, so it's very difficult like playing there also. So I think their leg is good there.
Kwesi Appiah has invited you a few times to play for the national team. We have a game against Egypt coming up. Do you perchance know whether you're going to be called up?
Well, I pray for the call-up because I got injured, but now I'm fit, so I'm praying to God that they will give me a chance again and they call me to the blast, and I hope I'll do my best for the nation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we do some more on Ghanaian players playing their football there in Congo, DR, and of course Gladson Awako. You remember him, Gladson Awako, formerly of Heart of Lions, and who also played at the under-20 level there as well. Let's take a listen to Gladson Awako and his expectations as well.
See, I'm very, very happy with the club and everything around the club, and I think we are enjoying our stay. Yeah.
Once you're a Ghanaian player, there is a chance that you could be called up for the senior national team. It's been a while you got a call up, but is there something that you look forward to?
It has been like every footballer, every Ghanaian footballer player to play for his country, and it's something that I've been looking forward to. But I hope like everything will be okay, and surely I'll also get a chance to feature for the senior national team also.
Yeah, you missed out in the CAF Champions League. Now you're in the Confederations Cup. Are you looking forward to win it to make amends?
I think the club hasn't won this very tournament before for the CAF Confederation, and it's something that all the management and the officials of the club are looking forward to get this trophy. So we are also doing our possible best that we can achieve this. We can get this trophy too.
You're traveling to Mali next 2 weeks or next week. How do you see your chances?
Well, we are in the semi-final now, and it's not going to be easy at all because they also play a couple of matches before getting here. So they are also preparing for us because they know they are playing Mazembe. So any game for them, any game for us is a final game for us. So I think we are also going to prepare very well so that we can get at least a maximum point or a win over there. Okay.
All right, so you send in a text message 1760. You've heard from the players. They find themselves playing their football for TP Mazembe, and they have a major assignment on the continent. They're playing in the Confederation Cup, and they have a major assignment in the coming days. So that was during a training session that they held in Ghana. Let's take a look at some messages that are coming in. Mohamed Bouaswali says that we hope the Moroccan referee will be good to us, and we knew David Moyes will wobble. Okay, so David Moyes having a rather tough start at Manchester United. But, well, is that anything to go by? Sir Alex Ferguson saw the same, kind of... the same fortunes when he started. So is this something to worry about for now? Is it not early days yet? You send a text message, get on my Facebook page, and let's start talking. And also get on 1760 if you're on your mobile phone, and let's get talking as well. So we go into more, and Zambia defender Hichani Himonde has been talking about the Black Stars' chances against Egypt. Remember, Ghana has to win that game against Egypt to better chances of qualifying to Brazil 2014 in that first leg encounter here in Ghana on October 15. Let's take a listen.
To be in the playoffs, it's a good team. So I believe for Ghana to qualify to this round, to the knockout stage, they have a good team. I think the coordination, I think they have the teamwork, and I believe like the game we played, they were the best team. Like they played well and they deserved the win.
When we played you in Dollar, between that time and now, what kind of difference did you see in the team?
I think Ghana has got a lot of like players who play abroad, and they've got the experience, and I think when they came here, I think they showed the experience, and they were at home. They used the advantage with the crowd, like the way we used the crowd as well for the advantage, and we know the ground. And for us, the travel arrangement wasn't good for us before we reached Ghana. I think it was to their advantage.
All right, so there it is. Checking a few text messages that are coming in via 1760. Some more text messages are also coming in. Very shortly, I'll be sharing a bunch of them with you. And let's get into some of the stories we have for you. Al Ahly have refused the release of their players for a training camp. Okay, so Al Ahly, remember, have been very, very consistent, and this is very, very worrying for the Egyptian national team. Remember that Egypt wants to get the full complements of their squad, with Al Ahly having 11 of their players, and now the training has gone into disarray. And now Egypt's training camp ahead of the clash is in a bit of trouble as Al Ahly withdrew their 11 players from the squad. The decision has left the American coach Bob Bradley with just 14 players in camp, which is making training difficult. Even 11 Al Ahly players left the Egypt camp ahead of anticipated CAF Champions League semi-final against Cotton Sport on Saturday. And the Pharaohs opened an early camp on Thursday for the first leg playoff, hoping to give them an edge over the Black Stars. However, the exercise is now a nightmare. Okay, so a lot of it coming from the camp of the Black Stars, and a lot coming from the camp of the Egyptian squad as well. So is this going to go in Ghana's favor? Well, you can never tell. Egypt has been very, very unpredictable when it comes to matches such as these. Now, an Egyptian duo are expected to be fit for the game, and I'm talking about Ahmed Fathi and Mahmoud Abdel Razek, and he is called Shikala Abala, and he is they are set to gain full fitness ahead of that game between their team and the Black Stars on October 15. The Pharaohs will be without Fiorentina star Ahmed Hegazi, who is facing a lengthy spell on the sidelines. Egypt are expected to host Ghana on November 17. And, of course, the winner out of these two legs will qualify for Brazil 2014. Okay, now Egyptian fans will be airlifted for the Ghana clash. Okay, so many fans from Egypt are expected to make it into the Barbara Stadium in Kumasi for that big game on October 15. And some fans are expected to make it, and over 1,000 supporters are expected to make it on October 15 for that game. Now, 500 of the supporters will be flying to Ghana on the Egyptian government sponsorship, and 205 by Coca-Cola and 185 by telecommunications firm Vodafone. So this is a do-or-die situation. As you can see, everybody just employing all the possible tactics to ensure a victory. So Egypt are going to airlift about 1,000 fans to come in here. And like I've mentioned already, a Moroccan referee is going to be in charge of that game between the Black Stars and Egypt. And Bushaib El Akhash, he is going to be in charge of that game, and is expected that he gives off the best. And he last featured at the Africa Cup of Nations in 2012 when he officiated that game between Senegal and Ivory Coast. And of course, this rather was the 2012 World Cup qualifiers, and it was between Senegal and Ivory Coast in Dakar. Remember, that game ended in chaos, and Senegal is still paying the price for the behavior of their fans. And there are indications that tickets will be doubled for that game between Ghana and Egypt. Now, indications coming from the National Sports Authority and some sources we are gathering, some sources indicate to us that tickets are going to go for 8 Ghana cedis each, and these will be the regular tickets, while the center line will go for 20 Ghana cedis. Now, VIP wings will go for 30 Ghana cedis each, and VIP tickets will sell at 50 Ghana cedis. Now, the ticket prices may have been increased because of the incidents of the Black Stars. Some fans are racketeering some of the tickets. Remember that some of them do black market sale, and some try to replicate the tickets as well. So this is one measure by the Sports Authority to curb all of this. Okay, now Kevin Prince Boateng was also on target for Schalke at the weekend. Remember, Kevin Prince Boateng settling very well in the country of his birth. Now, Ghanaian midfielder Kevin Prince Boateng, he continued his fantastic form as he passed the late fitness test to feature for Schalke 04 in that game against TSG Hoffenheim. And he scored in the 3rd minute after being set up by Maximilian Meyer in a thrilling game which ended 3-3. So Kevin Prince Boateng also scoring, and this surely is a very big, interesting one, how these players are making the headlines with their goals. And this surely is also a very good development for the Black Stars as they get get ready for that game. Also, one other player who has been on target, one other player who was on target at the weekend is Charles Tichy. He was on target for Cottbus in Germany as well. So Ghanaian attacking midfielder Charles Tichy, he was introduced 35 minutes to go for the game, and he scored for Energy Cottbus in their 4-2 win over Armenia Bielefeld. Of course, the player Andre Didiayew, he also scored in that 2-0 win that Marseille recorded at the weekend. And Andre Ayew surely is on fire. He has opened his account for the season. And you can send in your thoughts and your messages on Facebook and through the text code 1760. And, of course, Mahatma Otu's side, Songdao, they failed to shine against Strom Godset. Okay, so Mahatma Otu's Songdao side, they were humiliated 5-0 in their own backyard on Friday night. And this was against goalkeeper Lassen Kwarase's team, Adam Lassen Kwarase's team, Strom Godset. And this surely was a disappointing one for for the player, the Ghana Premier League top scorer for last season. And also, Ebenezer Sifwa was on target for his club, Sion. Remember, Ebenezer Sifwa performing wonderfully and impressing a lot at the last edition of the Under-20 FIFA World Cup in Turkey. And now he contributed a goal to the 2-2 draw that Sion recorded at leaders Basel on Saturday night. All right, so Ebenezer Sifwa there, and Ghana international Isaac Kofi has also apologized to Genoa fans and the teammates and his teammates for scoring an own goal against Udinese on Tuesday, and he's hoping the whole team improves. The midfielder, who was signed by Genoa this summer, has featured in most of the games this season, and he put up some fantastic performances. And Kofi was an unused substitute on Saturday as Genoa were beaten by 2-0 at Napoli, and this was at the Stadio Comunale Ferraris. And of course, we do some more stories on some Ghanaian players. Rahim Ayew is delighted to have signed for Asante Kotoko. Remember that Rahim Ayew is one player whose name has been on the cards for a very long time. Field move to Hearts of Oak now lands a deal with Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and he says he's delighted with the reception received at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Remember that Rahim Ayew featured in Ghana's very first attempt at the Chan tournament, where Ghana finished second, and he is a good material to be used in the local Black Stars team. Let's now focus on the Ghana Premier League and some of the results that were recorded on match day 3. Kumasi Asante Kotoko still in the lead, but a very horrid spectacle. A very horrid spectacle happening at the Tema pitch. Goalkeeper Yate of Inter Allies falling flat on the pitch and getting rushed to the hospital. He's been treated at the Tema General Hospital, but that opens up the discussion for major concern for the medical status of our players and the health status of our players who play in the Ghana Premier League. Remember that under 3 seasons ago, a player fell to his death on that pitch, the same pitch at the Tema Stadium, and these incidents have happened over the years. So how ready are we to combat these issues when they come up? And what is the health status of some of these players? We've been talking about one big name that could possibly join the Black Stars for the game against Egypt. I'm talking about goalkeeper Richard Kingston. And Richard Kingston has been going on in his exploits with his club in Cyprus. Let's take a look at some of his exploits. His club managed to win 2-1 at the weekend, and these are the highlights.
Κάνει την παλιά, μεγάλη ευκαιρία για γκολ και τη χάνει από πάρα πολύ κοντά ο Γκαρσία. Ο Άντιτς τελικά δυνατά έξω. Τρίτη προσπάθεια, Κάλβο, Γκαρσία κάνει το γύρισμα. Ξανά ο Ουρουγουανός φέρνει την μπάλα μέσα, γίνονται μάχες, κεφαλιά, κόρνερ από τον Κίξον. Γκρικαλασβίλη, ο Φοφανά είναι μόνος και περιμένει. Γκρικαλασβίλη δοκιμάζει τον πόδι του, καλό σούτ, αποκρούει ο Κίξον σε κόρνερ. Κολαούτη κάνει την κεφαλιά, τρέχει ο Γκρικαλασβίλη, πατά την μπάλα, έρχεται ο Κολαούτη, την κερδίζει, την γυρίζει, είναι μόνος, ο Φοφανά κάνει το σουτ γκολ. Μειώνει η ανόρθωση στο 51ο λεπτό. Φοφανά κέρδισε, στην περιοχή περιμένει ο Κολαούτη, του γυρίζει την μπάλα, έχει ευκαιρία, ο Κάλβο δεν μπορεί να νικήσει από κοντά τον Κίξον. Κάνει την πάσα για τον Γκρικαλασβίλη, το γύρισμα αυτός, κεφαλιά, απόκρουση από τον Κίξον. Στην κοντινή κεφαλιά από τον Σουσιάν. Αλέξα, στον Οκά, ευκαιρία για την ανόρθωση, η μπάλα πάει έξω από το σούτ του Οκά.
Okay, so you've seen goalkeeper Richard Kingston for yourself. I'm sure that you've got big thoughts, and now goalkeeper Richard Kingston, he is showing some very good sharp reflexes. And, of course, he conceded a goal there. But what is the analysis? Goalkeeper Richard Kingston. We'll be bringing you some more. And remember that this clip will show later on today in football, on the football show with George Attoh Jr. For those of you who miss out on this, tell everybody to watch it later on. And maybe we might just do that before we round up the show later on. Goalkeeper Richard Kingston getting, some playing action. Is he on his return, on his way to making it again as #1 for the Black Stars? big questions to ask. Let's now get into the Ghana Premier League. And at the weekend, it was Kumasi Asante Kotoko who surely kept a clean slate. And of course, Accra Hearts of Oak, their rivals, also won by 3-2 against Inter Allies, who also are struggling to keep their head up in the Premier League on their first campaign. But the very sad incident that occurred over there was when goalkeeper Yate of Inter Allies fell flat on the pitch. He eventually was rushed to the Tema General Hospital and was treated. This is a subject that we will be visiting some more. Asante Kotoko there beating Edubiase by 1-0. Accra Hearts of Oak beating Inter Allies by 3-2 away at the Tema Park, and Bichem United beating Dwarfs by 1-0. Brekum Chelsea and Midiama drawing 1-1. Heart of Lions and Amidaos Heart of Lions win that game by 2-1. Liberty Professionals getting a good win against King Faisal at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ashanti Gold beating Wa All Stars by 1-0. And Adriana Stars stealing a 1-0 show at the Esipong Stadium, and they beat Hazakas. And this is how it looks like on the Premier League table. Ashanti Gold there, Accra Hearts of Oak in second position, Ashanti Gold on 7 points. Kotoko lead with 9 maximum points, and it surely is good. Adriana Stars there, Bichem United, Heart of Lions, and Wa Stars, as well as Dwarfs, who did a great job last season under Professor Minta. And so this is the first half of the Ghana Premier League. Okay, so the title sponsors of the Premier League are saying that they are going to pay the debts, and this is what it's looking like on the rest of the table. Inter Allies, New Edubiase, King Faisal, not too good, and of course Hazakes as well, not in the best of positions. Let's also take a look at the let's just quickly take a look at the man, Professor Minta, and he rejected the Black Queen's job. Now, Professor Minta is one technical brain that has been very, very consistent on the local scene, and he rejected the job for the Black Queens, and he turned down the chance to become Ghana's national women's coach, according to reports here in the local media. And the FA is in the market to get a coach with uncertainty surrounding the future of Kukudazi, and the Ebusua Dwarfs trainer had been earmarked for this job. Okay, so let's do some more, but before that, let's do a round of commercials. Remember, this is Joy Sports. Keep your messages coming in on social media and through 1760 as well. We'll be sharing some more of the messages with you as the show goes ahead. There is more to come. Now, Al Jazeera has secured the rights for the World Cup playoffs. Danny Jordan has been elected the president of the South African FA. Now, Danny Jordan, surely a known name and a face on the continent and all over the world, and continuing his work in football. We'll also be bringing you all the big highlights. Also, the schools reunion and the the three-pointer competition that was held there at the Independence Square. Amazing stuff at the Dome Secondary School, winning that, and we'll congratulate them. They won their trophy at the weekend as well. So we'll be doing some more on the World Cup playoffs and everything you should expect from the big leagues from all over the world. Andre Ayew scored, and the man Lionel Messi scored, but unfortunately for him, he had to pull a muscle in his thigh, and he's out for the next 2 weeks. A round of commercials, and we continue with some more here on Sports Today. All right, so we continue with some more stories here. And of course, broadcasting giants, international broadcasting giants, Al Jazeera have secured the rights for the World Cup playoffs. It surely is going to be, very, very interesting and drama-filled as countries book the remaining places available for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil in 2014. Remember, Ghana also has her own to deal with. It's Egypt, and that big hurdle is supposed to be cleared. A Qatari-based news television station, Al Jazeera, have secured the exclusive broadcast rights for the final phase of the 2014 World Cup qualifiers in the African region. So all of these games, anybody who wants to get access surely has to go to Al Jazeera. And now we go to Danny Jordan, whom we'll congratulate for becoming the SAFA president, taking over from Caston Nemanthandani. Remember that the previous administration was rocked with some issues of corruption ahead of the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. All those are put behind now, and he is now the president of the South African FA. He was the chief operating officer for South Africa 2010, the very first World Cup to be hosted in Africa, and his expertise are not in doubt at all. He surely has done a lot on the football continent, not only in South Africa. So Danny Jordan is the president of the South African FA. And now we go to Shone Aluko, who is yearning for a place in the World Cup with Nigeria. Here in Ghana, many players are looking forward to places in the Black Stars team, and Hull City's Shone Aluko is aiming at a place in coach Stephen Keshi's squad that will play in the final stages. Now, the former England Youth International switched allegiance 4 years ago and made his debut for the Super Eagles in 2009. And his last game under coach Stephen Keshi was in June 2012 when he came in as a substitute in the 2-0 win over Rwanda in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Now, Nigeria will face Ethiopia over 2 legs in October and November in the playoffs for a place in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Now, former Senegal international Omar Daf has been named the interim coach of Sochaux in the French Ligue 1. Now, the 36-year-old ex-defender replaces Eric Helly, who gave up the post last Wednesday after seeing his side bite the dust to Guingamp 1-5. Now, Daf will lead a 3-man coaching group that comprises Eric Pegore and Bernard Jean. And Omar Daf, who retired from football last May, is the latest African to manage a top European club. Remember, Nathaniel Attoh was also given that opportunity to temporarily handle the club in the German Bundesliga as well. So this is good news for former African players who are gradually taking up coaching jobs in Europe. Okay, so Uganda are expected to play Egypt in an international friendly. Remember, there are major issues with players not being available for early training sessions or an early training regimen with Egypt coach Bob Bradley, and so. This game expected to sharpen up the skill of the Egyptian side ahead of the game against Ghana. Now, there are also highlights from South Africa, the MTN 8 Cup final. And let's take a look at the... Jose Mourinho surely having a very tough time as well, trying to keep his head up. Let me do a few text messages. Listuel Adai says, in fact, West Brom made my day after they defeated the so-called Man U. David Moyes should be called David More Years, since he needs more years to excel at Old Trafford. Shame on to Man U fans for especially Castro and Amadou of Trifohiman. I really hate North African referees just because they are biased. The GFA should protest that referee. You are good. I hope now Mata has impressed Mourinho. This is from Dong the Cypher. Sanford Brightboner says, Nat, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I don't think Moyes can do the job for Man U. Also, Yuan Mata will find himself back in the Chelsea team if he continues to play this way. This is from Bona Bright. Thank you very much from Bona Brighton Drobo, that text message. And this one from Habakkuk Ewa Otu says, Joy Sports, no size. Also, Eben Amamu says, Glory, glory, Man United. There are more surprises for them this season. This is the time United fans should admit, without referees' help, they are nothing. The sky is blue. Eben Amamu sent that message. Let's do some more highlights for you. And now we go to the Spanish La Liga. So the Spanish La Liga will be in a bit. Just remember that this is the sneak peek of the full results on the last match day in the English Premier League. So we go straight to the Spanish La Liga. Not too good news for the Barca fans and the Lionel Messi fans. The iconic player, out for 2 weeks due to thigh injury. Let's take a look. Okay, so these are the results for the last match day. Real Valladolid and Malaga drawing 2-2. And not too many goals you see over there. Average of 2 goals, a 2-goal win, or a 1-goal margin, if you would want to put it that way. Let's now go into the table. And there it is. Barcelona, 21 points, tied with Atletico Madrid, who also have 21 points. Real Madrid there in 3rd place. That's how it's looking like. Almeria, of course, they were not too excited after losing to a very, very strong Barcelona side. Okay, so there we are. These are other results from the, and of course, Emmanuel de Mambedu's Udinese not getting things too right this season, and rather worrying. So Napoli there on 16 points, same as Juventus, who have a lesser goal advantage, 3 less than Napoli, who have 10 points. So Bologna, Chievo Verona, Catania, and Genoa, not too good for them. And of course, Sassuolo and Sampdoria are also down there, and they are also struggling. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the German Bundesliga. 5 goals in that one between Schalke and TSG Hoffenheim as well. So Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich will be on 19 points each. Difference is the goals. One more time, 4 goals better than Bayern Munich. And Pep Guardiola surely is going to get a lot of work to do. Braunschweig not having too good a season. Okay, so this is the French Ligue 1, and key among them is that 2-0 win that Marseille posted against Lorient away. And Andre Dede Ayew scored in that game as well. This is how it's looking like. Big spending Monaco and big spending Paris Saint-Germain there in on the top 2 places. Marseille following in 17th position, Lille there. And so Monaco's spending, the likes of Radamel Falcao paying off big time. And so Lorient, Bordeaux, Ajaccio and Guingamp, as well as Toulouse, not there following in bottom places. So Chaux and Valenciennes as well there at the bottom of the French Ligue 1 table. Now we've got a UEFA Champions League fixtures for you as well. What do we expect? Basel, Schalke, Chelsea going away to Steaua Bucuresti in Romania. Arsenal host Napoli, who just got a good result at the weekend. Marseille played Dortmund. That surely is going to be a big game. I'd look forward to seeing that. Zenit St. Petersburg playing Austria.
More plaudits from
great stuff there. Okay, let's now take our attention to the Asempa Sports Quiz, which has been going. The grand final was held in the Asempa Sports Studios last Friday. Let's take a look.
It's from fans out there from the various campuses this morning. And so to you, if I force in for the very first question, if you answer this for 3 maximum points. If what was the actual time that Usain Bolt ran to set this year's world record time in the 200 meters?
20.73.
No. The actual time that Usain Bolt ran to set the world record time world record.
19.30.
No, I'll not give it to you. And you?
19.19.
19.19. And we don't even say that. 19.19. 19.19. For a bonus point, we got that. And so for 3 points, Calvin Asari-Darko. Calvin, in which year did Usain Bolt set this world record time in the men's 200 meters?
2009.
2009 for 3 points, we got that. Which country holds the record? Listen, which country holds the world record time in the men's 4x100 meter race in athletics?
Jamaica.
For 3 points. And you, Henry Moses Bekialogi. In which year did Jamaica set this world record time in the men's 4x100 meter race in athletics?
FM.
2012. 2012. And to ever force in which athletic competition did Jamaica set this new world record time in the men's 4x100 meter race in athletics?
Olympic
Games. Conclusion. Instead of Olympic Games, if I said Olympics Games, now it's the same thing, you know, it's the same thing. Now, Calvin Asare Darko Calvin, which athlete anchored that historic Jamaican quartet in the world record-setting men's 4x100-meter race in athletics?
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt! Fire! And which country finished at the top of the table, winning 46 gold medals and winning 104 medals overall at the last Olympic Games in London?
All right, so there it is. You sure are. And remember, the Joy Sports Quiz is also coming your way. It's for tertiary students, so all the tertiary students get on myjoyonline.com and register as we bring you. It's going to be every Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Big prizes to be won. We will be bringing you the Joy Sports Quiz known as Joy Sports Masters. Okay, so Joy Sports Masters, test your knowledge. That's what we say with the Joy Sports Masters. And of course, Tony Bebley, who hosts the Sports Review, will be your quiz master as well. Let's also go into the Joy FM Annual Schools Reunion. And who won it for basketball? It was at Idoma Secondary School. Take a look.
1, 2, 1, 2. Live from the Independence Squares, the Annual Schools Reunion, brought to you by Joy 99.7 FM, sponsored by Castle Mill Stout.
If you spill the food, you are disqualified.